sign up to anything less. The total emissions would then keep decreasing every year, until by 2065 we'll have weaned ourselves off fossil fuels and prevented the worst impacts of climate change. As to how each country divvies up its share to its citizens, there are various options on the table, the most promising of which is individual carbon rationing.
Mr. W.S. Morrison is here to explain.
If, in the course of the war, we are short for a time of this or that article of food, rationing will give everyone, rich and poor alike, an equal share of all that's going.
Under this scheme, everyone in the UK would be allocated an annual carbon allowance.
Stored electronically, rather like a supermarket loyalty card, points would be deducted every time we buy or use non-renewable energy. For example, using electricity to power appliances in the home.
Or travelling somewhere by plane.
Or even buying petrol for your car.
The best way you can help is by rationing yourselves. I'm sure that all of you will buy your fair share and no more.
Airports were expanding all over the world to cope with the exploding number of cheap flights we were all demanding. And Jay was doing everything he could to join the party.
Ultimately, the art is to, hug and then kick. She thinks that PSF is payable. You're saying that PSF is not payable. What's wrong with you? Now. Yes or no? Did I ask you that question or did I not ask you that question? You're suspended. You're suspended. Both of you come to my office right now. Does it take more than 10 minutes to clean this? Keep paint with you. It wouldn't taste work. Maintaining my brand means something to me, okay? If I see my step ladder like this, and if I find one dirt, you'll be fired. Okay? Now!
Mr. J. Wardier.
Yes.
I would like to give you your air operator's permit to start commercial operations.
June the 11th, 2007, in a hotel room in Bedford, Piers is polishing his speech for tonight's showdown with the local planning committee.
This committee can approve this application. If you do, you will show courage and leadership.
He has just 6 minutes to convince them to approve his wind farm.
I'm absolutely confident that if you approve this project, you'll look back on the decision and say, thank goodness we said yes.
But the committee rejected Piers's application, saying that his wind farm would be conspicuous and out of place in the Bedfordshire landscape, that it would decrease enjoyment of nearby footpaths and negatively impact a listed building and an ancient monument. In other words, it would spoil the view.
Well, we're delighted that it's been refused, yes.
Well, it's a wonderful result.
It just shows if you work hard, if you look at all the facts, if you do it fair and with balance, you can get a good outcome.
10 against and 1 in favour. Might have even been 11 against and 1 in favour. But there was only one guy that actually voted in favour of it.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, hi, Mum, it's Piers. I think it was 10 to 1 or 11 to 1 against. Yeah, just waste of time, basically. I could have said anything, to be honest. I don't think it would have made any difference.
Of course, worried about global warming. I mean, that's got to be something that we're all concerned about. I mean, we're all doing our bit to try and conserve and looking at renewable energy, of course, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're part of the yes.
And it is global warming. For the first time, scientists confirm the link between climate change and our awful weather.
Emergency services scramble to Bedford swollen. As the floodwaters finally worked their way along the Great Ouse, other parts of Bedfordshire didn't escape either.
We've lived up here for over 40 years.
And we've never, ever had anything like this.
80,000 fatalities in Burma today after Cyclone Nergis.
Draft emergency across Western Europe with drinking water strictly rationed in Holland, France.
Forest fires which are still sweeping across Spain.
£30 billion, price worth paying for motorists' right to drive, said Lord Clarkson of Silverstone.
Good news for the UK wine industry, especially
The latest is that New Orleans will not be rebuilt a third time, said the Louisiana
Less
governor.
than the total destruction of India's dams would end Pakistan's drinking water crisis.
As US President Chelsea Clinton refuses Africa's demand.
Sales of air conditioning units in India.
Thousands as San Francisco's extraordinary heat wave continues into Los Angeles.
Now we're seeing extreme weather events somewhere on the planet every single day.
Estimated 35 million Chinese refugees.
Skiing in the Alps is over.
The new Channel 4 documentary asks, is global warming really happening, or are natural...
It's 51 degrees centigrade, the highest land temperature.
More than 100 million people are homeless tonight as Bangladesh...
methane emissions from Siberia.
The last Indonesian tree fell, but biofuel prices are...
The European Union today permanently closed all of its borders.
And roadside verges must be reserved for food production.
London is underwater again as last night's 30-foot storm surge overcame the Thames barrier.
New Zealand has also now closed its borders, leaving 22 million Australians.
Reports coming in that the North Sea is boiling. 100 million refugees from Middle East and continental Europe are all heading north.
Species are now extinct, scientists estimate, and ecosystems are collapsing across the planet.
We have passed 2 degrees. We cannot now stop runaway climate change.
There are simply too many people to feed in Ireland's remaining farmland.
Suicide rates increasing 800%.
The Amazon rainforest is still burning.
And anyone who cannot bear to eat their own cats and dogs.
Entering the 8th world food crisis.
World temperatures today passing 4 degrees.
Pakistan has launched retaliatory nuclear strike on Delhi.
A war of biblical ferocity across the entire continent.
We wouldn't be the first life form to wipe itself out. But what would be unique about us is that we did it knowingly. I mean, what does that say about us? The question I've been asking is, why didn't we save ourselves when we had the chance? Is the answer because, on some level, we weren't sure if we were worth saving?
En montagne, on est encordé. Le risque est le même pour toi que pour moi. On sait que le réchauffement, il va aller de plus en plus vite. Donc la situation va être de plus en plus grave pour tout le monde, pour tout le monde.
Please proceed near the aircraft and take care of your responsibilities.
You know, if all of us stood united in terms of the world, it would be very different in every way. But unfortunately, that's not the reality. If we can't even stand united on eradicating poverty in the world, what does health of the planet have any chance?
Through being a medical doctor, I really want to be famous. I know it's not easy, it's hard work, but that's my dream.
I should say congratulations. You can see that your documents are okay to give you admission.
Thank you, sir.
In my opinion, our use or misuse of resources the last 100 years or so, I'd probably rename that age something like the age of ignorance, the age of stupid.
والله المستقبل يكون شيء بالعراق هيك
مع أصحابي بعزمهم، بعزم أهلي كلياتهم بيجوا، يعني فرح بصير فرح فيش منه بالعراق كله بالعالم كله.